ourselves before. If we are in the furnace, the God we serve us from your majesty's hand, but if he does not, we, your majesty, image of gold you have set up. So Nebuchadnezzar wanted the crowd to worship the golden statue, which goes against the first and the second commandment. You can read about the 10 commandments. This is the three Hebrew boys who was not afraid to stand firm, no matter what is going on, no matter the dangers, the consequences. In Babylon, when the music played, everyone bowed to the golden statue. Imagine the scene. 1,000 people were on their knees bowing down, and only 3 stood tall with 3 boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And it really takes a gut to stand alone, even though when it's tough. You can really read earlier in Daniel chapter 1 when Daniel was standing firm, knowing what is right, what is not right. But the truth does not even change because everyone else is doing it. And the 3 young men already made the decision before the test came. We will not bow. Conviction is like a compass. It always points north, no matter how the crowd turns. Because of their stand, the 3 were thrown into the fiery furnace. But here's the miracle. Instead of being destroyed, they were thrown into the furnace. It was a danger to them because they've already compromised Nebuchadnezzar and they were destined to die. But God himself walked with them in the fire. The very place meant for their death became the place where his presence was revealed. The fire did not disappear, the heat did not vanish, but the flames had no power over them. In Isaiah chapter 43 verse 2 it says, when you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. And standing alone might feel lonely, but it's often the clearest sign that you're standing with God. Brothers and sisters, and the youth, the teenagers listening to this sermon, you are not made to blend in. You were made to reflect God's light, even when it's uncomfortable. He sees when you choose to stand for truth, even though when it's unpopular. He sees you obeying him, even though no one is watching. And faithfulness, don't forget the key word, faithfulness, matters more than popularity. It's better to please God standing alone than to please the crowd by bowing down. I will repeat it again. It's better to please God and stand alone than to please the crowd bowing down. The world is feeding you with a lot of lies, pleasures, and deceptions that goes against God. But no matter how loud the crowd is or how many people are doing it, stand firm. Know what the Bible actually says. Know what it's right. God is greater than the world. The truth is stronger than every lie. Before I finish this sermon, I would like to read in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Some of you may know it, but I read. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you and I are called to stand firm no matter what, even when everyone else bows down or do something that goes against God. The crowd might be loud, but the pressure may be real, but God's presence is always greater than the fire. If you stand for him today, he will stand with you forever. Amen.